What's the worst thing to say during a funeral? Not necessarily something said but myself my 3 sisters were at my great-grandpa's funeral years ago. Sitting front row. He was highly religious but we are not at all. Someone got up started doing an acoustic song with the chorus Jesus touched me. He touched me and quat. It felt like one of those times that is illegal to laugh but none of us could hold it in. Without even looking at each other we were all on the verge of literally bursting with laughter. Trying so hard to hold it in but it was almost impossible. We hoped that the people in the rows behind thought we were actually crying. Mum is still disappointed in us to this day, one of my favorite family memories for real. My mentor always jokingly said you can only take a day off for a family death and it better be your own and quat. At his daughter's joint funeral. I said. Well, he took the day off for a family death and quat. His living daughter, 10 years old, just about lost it laughing. She is her father's daughter. But poor thing has not been able to process her emotions. She dealt with that day through humor. She was almost told to leave because of the uncontrollable laughing until the workers realized she was the daughter and sister of the deceased. I had no filter because of what a sad day it was. But he would have totally fist bumped me for that joke, lol. Rip. No joke, I went to a funeral for an aunt back in 2011 to 2012. I remember being in middle school at the time, so somewhere around there, and after the service one of my uncles was showing off his new iPhone or something like that. Well, he wanted to show us Siri's capabilities and you want to know what this man thought to ask? Hey Siri, where do I hide the body ? And quat. It wasn't until he saw the mortified looks everyone was giving him that he realized that was the worst and stupidest thing he could have said. What's the most cringeworthy piece of dialogue you've ever heard in a film? Anything pseudoscientific. Especially when vague terminologies are mentioned with a lot of confidence. Cringe. I am in their intranet now. I will send them a Trojan script to gain access into their confidential encrypted files. What are you talking about, Tiffany? Basically all of 50 Shades of Grey or I don't make love. Hard. And quat. Did I watch it and like the soundtrack? Yes. Is it also unrealistic and something I will trash talk? Also yes. Haha. Gotta be Black Widow saying she can't be with Mark Ruffalo because she's the real monster due to her handlers sterilizing her when she was a teen. She said this to the Hulk. A man who has definitely inadvertently killed thousands of innocent people by smashing buildings and cars, and I will die on this hill that is the stupidest James Gunn has ever written in his life, and I am including those pedophilic tweets from like 10 years ago. In the movie Tentacles there's a scene where one character is waxing poetic about the ocean and says, you know what's better than the ocean? I weirdly like the movie as a whole but that scene was so strange. In the first Transformers movie when Timothy Olyphant almost looks at the camera and says but we aren't going to make it without the Air Force. And quat. You think your life is hard? I'm a high school junior wearing size 13 Nikes. Men's size 13. Beat that, well honey. Let me turn on the TV so you can watch some news. I bet 99% of it will be people who have it much worse than you. Anakin, you are so beautiful. Padme, it's only because I'm so in love. Anakin, no. It's because I'm so in love with you. Padme, then love has blinded you? Anakin, well, that's not exactly what I meant. Padme, but it's probably true. They still make stupid jokes to themselves even when they alone? Sure do, D. No one makes me laugh as hard as I do. I know my sense of humor better than anyone. I love your sensitivity to your bananas feelings. I live alone and I'm always the funniest guy in the room. I do some goofy and stupid jokes that only I can laugh at when I'm with myself. It's pretty fun tbh. I live by myself. So of course I do. The main thing I do is alternate lyrics to songs. I'm like a filthy Weird Al. Everything is disgusting/related. Can't help myself. Yep. Constantly. And just you telling us this made me chuckle as well, lol. Yes. I do. Your joke made me laugh. Too. Were you high? And I laugh at them. Homeschooled raised. That's all I ever do, Lamau. Also I want to be a dad in the future so I make as many lame dad jokes I could think of so when I become a dad my dad genes will kick in and I'll ascend to a level of dad joke godhood the likes never seen before. Like the saying goes, practice for the job you want, you know? What dark secret are you hiding from everyone? It's not a dark secret, I guess. But sometimes while I'm on the train to work I try to mentally do whatever the opposite of road rage is. Like I'll pick a person and aggressively think at them, I hope you get a crazy big tax refund, or I hope you stumble across $20 on the sidewalk, or I hope someone compliments something you're normally insecure about. I think maybe I'm trying to balance the karmic scales or something because it seems like so many folks do the opposite without really thinking about it too much. Hope you Redditors get a really comforting hug next time you need it most. My uncle owned an old Camaro that collected dust in his garage. When I was around 10 my family and I were in town visiting and I wrote the word in quat in the dust on the hood of the car. I used my thumb so that the letters were fatter than my normal index finger. A few hours later my aunt/uncle asked us who did it and I proved it wasn't me by showing how the person who did it had bigger fingers than me. Taking that to my grave. In middle school I made a smoking pipe out of copper pipe just for fun. I know you should not smoke out of copper as the fumes are potentially toxic. My stepdad took it from me and started using it. He smoked with it for years. I hated him for physically abusing me so I never said anything. It's now 30 years later and he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's and likely only has a few years to live. I hope he rots in. I don't know if it had any effect. But I like to think the copper pipe played a role in his sickness as karma for being in. My cousin raped me when I was a kid and to this day I haven't told anyone about it. It's been probably around 25 years ago or so, which makes me feel like it's not worth addressing after so much time. I absolutely hated it when his mom asked me why I didn't invite him to my wedding. I still don't know how I should have responded to keep that a secret.